Let the words of my mouth and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable to you, O Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. Let's just say it. Without rules, you have anarchy. And who wants that? Think about it. Imagine a baseball game with no umpire. No balls and strikes. No foul lines. Gail, I know you're a tennis player. Imagine a tennis match with no net. No service area. Helen, again, imagine a worship service with no liturgy. A marriage relationship with no expectations. A town hall meeting, Sue, with no Robert's Rules of Order. I wouldn't want to be a part of that, would you? Imagine driving in rush hour Atlanta traffic with no lanes. What's the difference that is now? No speed limits? No traffic signs. Imagine that. Chaos, gridlock, survival of the fittest, I'll pass, thanks. Rules are what make life livable. Right? Rules are what makes life livable. The Jews found that out the hard way. There are 613 rules in the Old Testament, and the Jews broke every one of them many times. They got so good at breaking the rules that one day God had it. God sent the Babylonian army into Jerusalem, destroyed the city, carted God's people off into Babylon. 50 years in captivity. Why? They broke the rules. And when one day God brought God's people home, can you understand why they would be concerned with keeping the rules? Listen to a couple of verses from the 20th chapter of Ezekiel. I gave them my Sabbath, this is God speaking, as a sign between me and them, that they might know that I, the Lord, sanctify them. But the house of Israel rebelled against me in the wilderness. They did not walk in my statutes, but rejected my ordinances, and my Sabbaths they greatly profaned. And then, folks, fast forward 500 years, and here comes Jesus breaking those same precious rules. But Jesus, the third commandment, I mean, it'd be one thing if you broke some little tiny rule somewhere. It's the third commandment. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. 6 days, Jesus, you can work, but not on the seventh day. It's a day of rest and relaxation. We're sorry that woman has been ill for 18 years. Do it tomorrow. What's one more day? Just don't heal her on the Sabbath day. What do you mean breaking the rules? If you're God, how can you break the rules? Do you see the problem? And Jesus says, you fools. Every Sabbath, you untie your cow from its stall and lead it to water. Can't I, on the Sabbath, untie a woman from Abraham's daughter, untie her from her stall of affliction, and lead her to safety? Don't you think God cares more for that woman than your cow? In other words, what's more important? Adherence to the law or dealing with the suffering of people? If breaking a law is the only way to care for and love and heal somebody else, which would God choose? That's a serious question. On a scale of 1 to 10, does God care more about rules or people? Folks, do you see the internal connection in this story? A cow was tethered to its stall. The woman was tethered to her illness, and the religious leader is tethered to his rules. Have you ever felt tethered? Tied up? Leashed? Sure you have. We all have. I know people who are tethered to their jobs. In early, home late. They lose all sense of balance and hope and normalcy in life. At what cost? The relationship with their kids and their spouses, their own health, their own sense of balance and well-being. There was this, some of you know this, there was a survey some years ago. They asked 1,000 people, count them, 1,000 people, if you could change one thing in your life the way you lived it. One thing. Go back and change one thing. What would you do? Not one of them. Count it. Not one of them said they'd spend more time at work. I know people who are tethered to their things. They have to have the newest plasma television, the newest camera. I just bought one. The newest electronics, the newest tennis shoe, the newest car, as if their self-worth is defined by what they have. They buy things they don't need with money they don't have to impress people who don't care. I know people who are tethered to their cell phones, their drugs and alcohol, their sexual fantasies, their moral beliefs. And I got to wonder, folks, if we're not like Gulliver in the land of the Lilliputians, tethered, tied up by something or someone. At its face value, this story is about healing. I don't think it's about healing. I think it's about freedom. Jesus has come to free you of your tetheredness. Jesus has come to wipe away your chains and your ropes and your bounds. Jesus says it best in the 8th chapter of John. If you continue in my word, you are truly my disciples, and you will know the what? The truth. And what will the truth do? Set you free. The truth is, we are not defined by our jobs or our beliefs or our things. The truth is that we are not saved by keeping rules. The truth is the most important things in life aren't things. They're the relationships we have with each other and with God. And if you focus your life around relationships and not all that other stuff, I wonder if God won't free you like God freed that woman. I've got to show you something. Some of you have heard me tell this story before. I've had this cross in my office, in multiple offices, since the middle 80s. I took it on a retreat, and I have been on more retreats than Carter has pills. This retreat was something special. We put it up on a wall, and we had these pieces of paper. And we gave the piece of paper to everybody, all the participants. And they said, we said, to mark on this paper, what is bothering you? What holds you captive? What are you worried about? Put it on the paper. And then what we did is we stuck it on the cross, and we said, for the next 48 hours, God's going to handle it. We had breakfast at 9 o'clock, lunch at 12 noon, and dinner at 5 o'clock. You know what we did the rest of the retreat? Nothing. No meetings, no nothing. You could do what you want. You could read a book. You could go on a run. You could write a letter. You could do anything you want. There were no computers, or not many computers all the way back. But think about it. 48 hours of freedom. Of all the retreats that I have ever been on, it's the best one I have ever participated in. 28 years ago. That freedom lasted 48 hours. Jesus has come to give you a freedom that lasts a lifetime. So give it a try. Refocus your life around relationships that matter and see if those bounds, those ropes, those chains won't start to melt away. Jesus' word to the woman is, "Woman, you have been healed and freed of your affliction." See if God won't speak those words to you. Amen.